always be true. Welcome to the Always Be True podcast. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to be speaking and for you to be listening. So thank you for coming to visit and listen. My name is Derek Jefferson Apt. I am 29 years old, and I'm currently speaking to you from my attic in Santa Cruz, California, in North America, on planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy, somewhere in the center of the universe. And I'm excited to examine, in many ways, and not very limited ways, what it is that we're doing here on the planet, what it means to be alive, what it means to be a good person. Like, what are we doing? And I just want to start off by saying that I do not claim any sort of expertise or authority on anything. I do not consider myself a teacher or a guide, but more of a student and someone looking to just do the best that I can and learn more. And so this podcast, and from me speaking here to you, is going to be about examining and sharing and exploring and disseminating some of my own experience in life on planet Earth, which I think we all have such a unique experience here, and at the same time so similar, so much the same. For me, as I had mentioned on my previous broadcast, I spoke about times where I had been diagnosed as bipolar, so having kind of big mood swings and sometimes lasting a long time, like 3 months or so. They would last. I'd be up and then I'd be down and up and down, and it gave me a profound respect for the process of experiencing emotions to varying degrees and various states. Sometimes we feel good. Sometimes we feel like we wish we felt better. And as I've grown more and experienced more of these times, I've come to understand that I've come to understand that there's a dog barking in the background. we have the capacity to love everything that happens to us. And something that in the last experience of the last year of 2023, I had a lot of ambitions and drives and goals and things that I would put ahead of myself to say, once I get here and prove myself, once I get to this destination that I've kind of arbitrarily set for myself, then I will be there. Like, then I'll be good. I'll be whatever. When I get there, it's over out there, then I'll be complete. And I kept realizing that, one, I was just missing the mark like crazy. I would set these marks and I would miss them. And I think we all kind of do that. We try to calibrate ourselves to like, okay, can I set like a better goal? And I think having direction is, in that sense, is really, really good and important. And for me, in my experience, when I look back at all of the ways that I was trying to get somewhere or get something, I found that in a lot of ways I was missing what was happening right in front of me. Why was it that I felt like I needed to... Okay, I'll share I'll share that as a musician, you know, especially living and going to shows in Colorado at Red Rocks, you know, that's a big vision to be able to play on a stage like that. That's probably sat at my vision board so much. You know, when I get, like, that's my goal. That's what I want to see. And I love entertaining that vision, but not being attached to its outcome. And the girls are talking downstairs. There is nothing that I or you or anybody needs to do to prove themselves worthy of love. It doesn't matter how much money we have in our bank account, or how much we're making, or what car we drive, or what house we live in, or what we're experiencing. And as I say this, I say this to you, if you're listening. I'm speaking to you directly. I love you unconditionally. And there is nothing that you need to do to be worthy of that. Truly. The process of coming to unconditional love has been an interesting one. And along the process, for me, I have found that the moments that I have been broken all the way down and had things stripped away from me were the times that really helped me to remember that I'm still here. I'm still walking. I'm still alive. I can still see what's going on around me. And so, an interesting thing, an interesting way of viewing love is that love is a quality of awareness. So like I love my partner, or I love my kitty or my doggy, right? Or I love my child, or I love my parents, or I love this movie, or I love this food or whatever it is. It's a feeling that happens inside of us as we're experiencing the awareness of whatever the object is, whatever it is that's outside of us. But it's a feeling that happens inside. And that awareness, or that choice to love something, can be chosen for just about anything. And so, for instance, I like thinking about this in the way of we humans do this funny thing where we make art. And especially within visual art, realism and photography, where we take a snapshot of a scene and then we put it in a little picture frame or in context with something else and put it on a wall in our house or in a gallery. And then we take time to go walk through this gallery and view the paintings that are inside. And take a moment to just stand there and look at it. And we're looking at this painting and observing it. Like, wow, like showing, appreciating it for what it is. This image. And what would make that image any more valuable than the image that you are seeing right now? In just sitting and looking at this image in front of you. This experience right now that you're seeing. And respecting and honoring this piece of art right in front of you. Noticing the lines that you see, noticing the shapes, noticing the colors. As you become aware of it, noticing, starting to appreciate it. And before even appreciating it, accepting it. So we're seeing this picture right in front of our eyes. We're aware of it. We accept that it's there. And we appreciate it. I'm appreciating this image that I see. And if I add in the other senses, what I'm hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, and appreciating this as a work of art in and of itself. So if I were to say, I love a piece of art or a person, do I not also love this simple experience that I'm experiencing right now? Just this. And I can choose to make that, to love that. And as we examine this even deeper, perhaps we're not feeling immediately what we would regard as peace or love or happiness. Maybe there's some pain. Maybe there's some sadness. Maybe there's depression. Just totally value that. Can I not view that and love that also? The whole ball of complexity and emotion and despair, all of that. Take all of that and just and to almost, if it's an experience like that, the challenge, the depression, the intensity, this whole sadness, this whole thing, and just, it's so cute to belittle our challenges. To belittle them, to make them little, because really they are little. You ever fly in a plane and you take off and you're like, this is what I was in? Look at how small that little car is. It's so tiny and there's so many of them. It's like you see humanity as a bunch of little ants. And this big problem that we experience in our life is like huge, like I'm in debt, or I'm heartbroken. These are big problems and they're little problems. They're like big feelings because we're experiencing them. And they're so little. And remembering to just love with our awareness. Just love every little piece of it. For me, it's been a big work and really helpful because I've spent a lot of time in my life being really hard on myself. Like since I was a little kid. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to like hit myself in the head when I did something wrong. And just remembering that we do have the opportunity to just continue to love the situations that we're in. Love is it's like a spice that you can just load on to anything and everything. Like, I don't think you can overdo it. You just keep just loading it on. Like, you don't have to worry about it. It's just, you can never have too much. You can never, oh my God, you can love this bedhead, you know? You can love this necessity for a haircut. You can love this memory in your past. Because in loving it, we're giving it, okay. There are some times in my past where I have done some things that have significantly impacted others and caused pain. There was a time where I acted in anger, and in one moment had a extreme impact on somebody's life from the words that I said. And I have spent so much time feeling guilt and remorseful and regret. And in feeling the guilt and the remorse and the regret, every time I felt that guilt and remorseful and regret, I had the same opportunity to just send love into that situation. So I'd encourage you listening, if there's something on your mind that's troubling you, maybe something that you've been holding on to for a long time, maybe you hurt somebody. Maybe you hurt somebody really deeply. First, I want you to know that I may lead the example by saying, I choose that whatever that is that you experienced, or you did, or you're feeling guilt or remorseful for, that you're holding on to from the past, I love you unconditionally, and I love that experience that happened and that image of that memory. It does not mean that the act and the way of being in the future is allowed. It does not mean you're free to do this again. That's not what that means. Because we think of that we need to punish ourselves, or at least for me, I needed to punish myself over and over and over in order to have justice. It was almost like bringing balance and equilibrium to the universe. Like I had to punish myself. And it's not up to me. But for you and this thing that you may have, this thing in your past, this memory, I love this situation. As intense and painful as it may have been, I love it. I love it in its quality of existing, in the same way that I love the experience of the piece of art that is right in front of me. Because this memory is an addition to the current experience right now. This memory is here with us now. I choose to love all the people involved. I choose to love what happened. Just love it. That little thing that happened. Just love it. It can be a paradox. It can feel intense. How can I possibly love that happened? We may ask ourselves that question. And we don't need to ask that question. We just choose to do it. And if there's an interruption in sending love to that, then we love that interruption too. And we start to see how this awareness of being, this quality of loving awareness of being, can be put onto all things. All things. Nothing is exempt. Nothing needs to be exempt from that. Like, I love Trump. He's so cute. He's so cute in his little ways of just being a messy human. It's just like, you know what I mean? There doesn't need to be anyone to hate. And and I love Biden too. He's so cute. Oh man. All the politicians. I love them all. I love you all. I love you all. Like, sincerely. Sincerely. We're all doing what it is that we think that we should do. There is not a single person, I believe, that is not doing what it is that they think that they should do, or just acting the way they are acting. And when we feel victimized, or hurt, like somebody else hurt us, or somebody else did us wrong, we can come to realize and remember that it's an opportunity for us to grow, become better. To love this too. And sending love to the whole world. All the people. Because in the true world of peace that we all want, there's no one exempt from that. There's no one exempt from friendship. There may be ways of being that are not needed, but there's no person exempt. It's been so good to speak and share, and I am really grateful to be starting this journey to speak and to share. And I encourage you to do the same if you feel like you have things that you want to share. And I want to pivot a little bit too as I continue to speak, to talk about truth, because this is the Always Be True podcast. And what it means to be true. I've been reading a significant amount of it, especially in the last quarter of 2023, reading a good amount of spiritual texts, a lot of I would say Eastern Buddhism, Taoism, which I've come to just love. The Tao Te Ching on YouTube, read by Wayne Dyer. Just fantastic. I love it. It's about an hour read, and just listening to that and these little precise nuggets of pure gold in moving through life harmoniously. So one of the authors additionally with that is a gentleman by the name of David Hawkins, who you may or may not have read before. Wrote Power versus Force, another book called Letting Go, which it was an incredible read. And the one I'm on now is called The Eye of the Eye, EYE of the Eye, David Hawkins. Whew, man. Talk about high spiritual teachings and spiritual science, if you will. Like getting into... So if I can disseminate some of what I've been learning within these books, is he ranks a continuum of basically human emotion, which is a vibrational frequency. We talk about like raising the vibe, good vibrations. And what David Hawkins has done is creates this continuum from low vibrations. 0 is like nothing, basically. And then low frequencies of human emotion, like guilt and shame, are at the bottom. Shame is actually the lowest possible frequency of human emotion, according to his model. And then up to level 1,000. So 0 to 1,000. And 1,000 is pure enlightenment, like Buddha enlightenment or salvation, right? So and 1,000 is about the highest vibrational state that a human body can hold without, I don't know what would happen after that, just evaporating or whatever. It's the highest state that a human body can sustain. And it is said in his books that the high spiritual teachers, including but not limited to Jesus of Nazareth, Buddha, and Lord Krishna, like the complete high teachers. So anyways, I digress. 0 is like low, 1,000 is high, full, complete. Level 200 is courage. And level 200 is where negative goes to positive. And it is through courage and integrity. Courage and integrity is that level 200. That negative gets transmuted to the positive. And a couple of things that really struck me as I started to learn this was that understanding this ladder. And within the ladder, I'm not going to pull it up, but the order is shame, guilt. Don't quote me on this. I would go search it for yourself or research yourself. Fear, apathy, fear, pride, courage. And I've always thought of this as like, okay, negative and positive. There's like two channels. So like just turn negative to positive. But understanding that you can actually like shame, as if to say, I'm bad. Is not quite as, or is like what's not quite as bad as that is moving from shame to guilt. Like I did a bad thing. I'm not bad, but I did a bad thing. And then moving from guilt to apathy of just, I don't want to do anything, to then fear of like, I'm scared to do anything. To anger is also in there. Anger can motivate into action. And then pride of being like self-aggrandizing, making one feel more important than potentially others around them, like self-focused. We often think of pride as a good thing, but it's actually still under that level of courage, because pride is missing the key ingredient of humility. So if we can understand that we can use these things to get us back into courage and into integrity, and then go from that point to, walking up the higher ladder into love, into peace, into acceptance. It would be, I think the order was acceptance and love and divine peace. And additionally, within his teachings, he talks about how in addition to it being a continuum of human emotion, it is also a continuum of truth. So truth not being as just a yes, that's true, or it's not true, but actually has a strength. There is like a truth at this level, and then as the awareness increases, as the vibration increases, the capacity to carry information increases with higher states of experiencing love, then there's higher states of truth. And a very simple part of what he speaks about is the idea that falsity, what is not true, lies, they're not linked into reality, into what is. It's not linked into actuality. It doesn't have substance. It doesn't have realness. It's not real. If someone says something false that didn't actually happen, it's because it wasn't actually real. And so this level of truth is, what is truth? It is reality. And reality is this force of connection. Like, this is true. You think of true as, okay, this is real, but also the truing of a bicycle tire, right? It becomes true. It becomes straight. To true a tire, as in the sense of the verb. And so the truth brings an alignment of sorts. And one of the things I'm thinking about is the studies of water, where they had the monks pray on the water, or they put the word love on the water, and then looked at the water crystals under the microscope. I'll put links in the show notes for this, for you to go do your own research. But these vibrational states of love, you can see build a crystalline structure with form, with like beauty and form. And you see the snowflake, and it has the connections and the structure and the like tangibility. And when you see the vibrations of hate, anger, fear, whatever it is, they're like these blobs. There's no connection to the molecules. They're not connecting together. So this truth and the states of love and peace and like this higher like feeling goodness brings reality together, brings union together. And in that sense, David Hawkins talks about how because things come together, it makes us stronger. So the truth makes the body stronger, and the falsity makes the body weaker. Just very simple. And so he talks about the ideas of muscle testing and using the body as the connection to this subtle calibration of what is true. And we think about like go with your gut, right? Go with your gut. We have this like feeling of like, oh, I have this feeling in my heart. I have this feeling in my gut. Like this doesn't feel right. It feels like a disconnection. The other way we can do that, if we're not really like tuned into our body that well, or that, which is most of us, if we're not that in tune with like how we're feeling, we can do a little muscle test. And I remember when I was a kid, I had seen a homeopathic doctor and I didn't know what they were doing, but holding my arm out and pressing, and many of you I'm sure have experienced this, where they give you like a little bottle to hold, or like a medicine to hold, and then press on your arm in order to see if it calibrates with the system. And it's surprising. There's some things you'll hold them and then press the arm down and it will be weak. And then there's some where it will be strong. And it is so intriguing how well this works. And how detailed this is. So the couple ways that you can do muscle testing on your own, and I've been working with this because in addition, since the body is an instrument in this way, we have to kind of like tune and calibrate the instrument. So if you're feeling it, like if you're in a lousy mood, you're not going to be able to have a very accurate calibration of accessing truth within using the muscle testing system. So being able to kind of like test yourself and like say, okay, I am, 29 years old, right? And there are a couple ways you can do it is have someone press on your arm, or I like to just test by putting two fingers together. And if I feel them kind of slipping apart, that would be, I guess, like a no or a falsity. And if I feel them remaining strong, that would be a yes, or a true, or a like, this is good for me. And the best way to ask question, or instead of ask questions, like make a statement like this: eating this food is good for me. Or often what I'll do is hold the food, kind of like hold it in one hand and then kind of just see what I'm feeling, or do the test and see if it works. I actually tried this on playing trivia, and it was about 70, like I would say about 70%. I was playing trivia, and there were a few that I still got wrong, even with muscle testing. So again, there's still like a margin of error within calibrating our own systems, but I was actually getting a lot of answers right in using this in trivia with things that I didn't even know cognitively. So that's a rabbit hole I'd love to dive down a bit more as well. But as within this long digression or tangent of talking about truth, the important thing that I've found is that when we are able to use the vibrations of love, the loving awareness that we have to view a situation and to bring ourselves up to a state of love and feeling good about something, to love a situation and to be able to cultivate that ability to feel that inside, then the challenges get easier. The truth starts to reveal itself. And so really taking some time to work on having that and that muscle of exercising the loving awareness that we have on all of the things that we're experiencing to precede whatever it is we're dealing with. Love it first. Love it first. Our depression, our loss, our financial challenges, our problems with our kids, with our friends. Just choose to love the situation first. So I thank you all so much for sitting here to listen with me. And the pace of the way that I speak, having a lot of pauses and moments of introspection, I think brings an opportunity to slow down a little bit. We have a lot of I feel the cadence of a lot of the information we get on the internet is so fast and loud, and it's good to remember the speed of nature. I would assume some of the times that I'll be talking, it'll go a little bit faster, but I enjoy this cadence, and it gives me the opportunity to seek to examine truth within what I'm saying. So thank you for your patience and your acceptance for the passage of time as we've been speaking. And I look forward to the opportunity, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity to exercise my own concentration as I speak. And I love you. Unconditionally. I love you. And I say that, and I mean that. And if there's a time that I'm not fully experiencing that, it's because I'm still growing. If there's a time that I forget, it's because I'm still working to be better. And within that process, being journey oriented and not destination oriented, but that I am enough. And you are too. And anything that I say here using the word I hope that you have the ability to experience and own for yourself as well. Because we are all here together. And the idea of I that I have, that you have, is something that we will talk about more here, but it is something that we all share. A sense of I, sense of I-ness, sense of me-ness. And we can all relate on that level. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you unconditionally. I hope you feel well and enjoy being alive today in all its colors. Thank you for listening to the Always Be True podcast, and I will see you on the next one.